be recognized. It's a heart. Nobody's going home just yet.
This is the greatest
sport in the world. This is the moment. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A window to fame and fortune. This is the moment that will change someone's life forever. Tonight, 9 people stand on the brink. From a sea of 6,844, they emerge. From a tournament fraught with peril.
To you, it's poker, man. To me, this is my life.
They survived.
Don't you do it to me. All in?
They are the November 9.
One time, baby. Do it.
If I win this tournament, it's meant to be.
An elder statesman who holds the chip lead.
I'm older, I'm wiser, and I have the most chips. Bring it on, boys.
An established pro looking to take back the title.
This is the title. Every pro covets most. It's time. It's my time.
Young guns chasing history.
Some people wait their whole life for this opportunity.
I don't want to wait.
And a cast of unknowns looking to stand alone in the spotlight.
Everyone's looking for the fairy tale ending.
Why not me? Why not me?
Why not me? Why not me?
Why not me?
9 people competing for an astounding $9 million. 9 playing for poker immortality. The final table of the World Series of Poker main event.
Gotta love this game.
This is the moment. They have been lining up for hours, all hoping to watch poker history unfold and see the new group of poker celebrities known as the November 9. They have come en masse to support their favorite players, some even dressed like their poker hero. As everyone makes their way into the Rio's Penn and Teller Theater, the energy is high and the excitement is palpable. Welcome, everyone, to the World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. For Norman Chan, I'm Lon McCarran. The final table is set. Throngs of media are on hand. Poker's elite in the house. The players have taken their seats, and the cheering sections have followed suit. Now, we are just moments away from poker's biggest night. Norman, we have been fortunate to witness some of poker's most enduring moments, from Moneymaker's improbable victory to the down-under chance for Joseph Hashem to Jerry Yang's prayers being answered. And now the stage is set for one more historic moment to unfold.
And Lon, what an improbable and eclectic cast we have. The chip leader manages a trucking company. The resident pro dreamed of playing pro basketball. We've got a chess hustler from New York and a former video gamer from Moscow. There are 2 players looking to become the youngest ever to win, and a short stack looking to defy the odds. Plus 2 Canadians, one an accountant from Toronto who reminds some of a certain moneymaker from Tennessee. Anyone can win. It's not just a saying, it's the final table of the main event.
They're all gunning for that, the most coveted jewel in poker, and here's a look at the November 9. Short stack Kelly Kim barely held on. He's got just 2.6 million chips and a chair. The second shortest is Craig Marquis, one of 2 players who could become the youngest to win.
David Chino Ream has the most experience and just over 10 million chips to play with. Next is Canadian accountant Darus Suharto, who hopes the final ledger adds up to victory. Free spirit Alon Schwartz is in the middle of the pack with 12.5 million chips. The youngest player, Peter Eastgate from Denmark, has 3 million more than chip average.
The other Canadian at the table is third in chips. Scott Montgomery has nearly 20 million. Second in chips is the man many predict to win, the dangerous Russian Ivan Demidov. And they're all chasing the trucking account manager turned chip leader, Dennis Phillips, with 26.3 million. They are the November 9, and in the end, there'll be only one. To kick things off, here's 2007 champ Jerry Yang.
Hello, poker fans and poker players. Thank you so much for coming here today. Gentlemen, best of luck to you. Shuffle up and deal.
Through all the jitters and preparation and interviews, they can finally settle what they started 4 months ago. Let's crown a new world champion.
Hey, I want to know what's the over and under how long they get tired before they stop screaming. 2 hours they're going to be screaming. Like the night they go, Chino.
Dennis Phillips flew out over 300 friends and family to support him.
It's a lot of middle seats in one of those planes.
All right, action underway. There's the short stack, Kelly Kim. He'll fold. Peter Eastgate gets out of the way. Over to our chip leader, Dennis Phillips. Phillips on the Milwaukee's best light pocket cam with ace-9 offsuit. Dennis said he did about 200 interviews leading up to this final table. He kept track.
He's pretty talkative, but by interview 177, I think it's yes and no answers.
He announces a raise. So the big stack's going to get busy early. And he'll make it $900,000 to stick around. Craig Marquis folds. Now Elon Schwartz, who told us he'd just as soon disappear if he wins this thing. He's probably scattered out about 200 islands for that purpose. He has pocket eights. Elon will make the call.
Wow. I don't necessarily want to see all in, but I want to see some action here, boys.
Scott Montgomery folds.
Right now.
Action on Darus Suharto.
I really hope I could give you guys a lot more action right now with a re-raise, though.
Chino will be the most talkative here, and he'd love to be active if he can.
Suharto folded. Now Chino's whole card's 10-5.
That won't do it for Chino.
He folds. Ivan Demidov gets out of the way, so heads up now. Chip leader Dennis Phillips and Elon Schwartz. Schwartz with the lead with pocket eights. Flop is 4, deuce 7. Pocket pair still leads for Elon Schwartz.
I bet.
Dennis announces a bet with ace high.
Aggressive down the stretch in the main event. He'll make a continuation bet here.
$2.35 million. Second from the right is Joe McGowan, one of the men who's been coaching Dennis Phillips.
Some guys got coaching, some guys didn't. As we say in bingo, whatever works for you.
I'll get $6 million.
Oh, wow, that works for Elon. Getting aggressive, a raise to $6 million.
Elon loved that flop, and he's not afraid of the big stack.
Elon's got a bunch of friends here.
This is basically all or none. This isn't a $6 million bet.
Yeah, Phillips tried to muscle Elon after that flop, and he's got nothing.
Dennis's girlfriend, Maura Harris, on the left. And from what Dennis said, it sounds like either a fold or push.
What, suddenly you know poker?
All right, I fold.
Dennis Phillips will give up the hand, and with that, relinquish his chip lead. Elon Schwartz taking a nice pot early on, and his fans love it. And it didn't take long to silence the Dennis Phillips clones. Schwartz now over 16 million chips.
And the field just tightened up.
Good hand. Scary hand.
Dennis takes a hit and takes a step back.
Sick heater, dude. I'm good. Hot player's going to win. Yep.
And the hottest player since they took their break 4 months ago, Ivan Demidov, is now the chip leader. And as you see now on our E-Trade Financial Tournament ticker, Demidov is in seat 7. Seated between the dangerous Chino Ream and the short stack Kelly Kim, 53-year-old Dennis Phillips is in seat 1. Marquis in seat 2 and Peter Eastgate in seat 9 could each become the youngest champion ever.
5 players at this final table in their 20s. No bracelet winner at this final table. The last time that occurred was 2002 when Robert Varconi won and began the current streak of 6 straight amateur champions.
Dennis Phillips with ace-king offsuit. And he's going to limp in. The blinds at 150 and 300,000.
Phillips put together what he called Team Dennis to help prepare for this main event final table.
Chino Ream will fold over to our chip leader, Ivan Demidov. Ace-queen of clubs.
After making the final table, Demidov went home to Russia, won 2 tournaments, then went to the World Series of Poker Europe in London and finished 3rd in the main event. He is hot.
With a suited ace-queen, he raises to $1,025,000. Action folds back now to Phillips. Phillips with ace-king.
A raise.
Is going to re-raise.
The 2 biggest stacks bumping heads pre-flop.
Phillips with the best hand here pre-flop, ace-king. Will make it $3.5 million to play. Now the action back to Demidov, who used to be a pro gamer, traveled to big tournaments over long hours they would play in huge fields. Good preparation for the main event. And he announces re-raise.
Doyle Brunson once claimed he doesn't play ace-queen. This is why.
Demidov makes it more than $8 million to play. A huge hand developing, putting everyone on edge, including Yvonne's supporters.
Demidov is dominated, and he has 4-bet this baby.
Phillips needs almost $5 million to call.
I call.
And he does call. His girlfriend likes what she sees. Demidov's fans don't seem so sure. So here we go to the flop. A huge hand between the two top chip stacks. The flop 8-10 jack, both with a straight draw to the ace. Dennis still leads with that king kicker.
Demidov has a double belly buster straight draw.
Phillips, first to act.
I raise.
Now he'll be betting. There's been no action yet.
Maybe some nerves showing from the amateur in this big pot. Phillips will bet $4.5 million.
Those chips are showing no nerves. Phillips leads out with a gut shot straight draw.
So now the action and the pressure back to Demidov. Wow, Demidov will push.
And this would be for all of Dennis Phillips' chips. Demidov saying to Dennis Phillips, did you come this far and wait this long to go out this early? What a tough decision for Dennis. Demidov had raised twice pre-flop. He could have a huge hand already, and Dennis would be drawing all but dead.
I fold.
And Phillips will not risk it. He gets out of the way. Demidov takes that big pot.
The biggest pot of this main event. Demidov cements his chip lead.
And on the other side of the coin, Dennis Phillips is now one of the short stacks.
It's as if an 18-wheeler has flattened Dennis Phillips in seat 1.
And flattened the spirit of all of Phillips' supporters here. So the former chip leader, Dennis Phillips, with a catastrophic start to this championship table.
The 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event. Final table.
Back at the Rio into a theater that sounds more like Teller than Penn, as the Dennis Phillips crowd has been silenced after two devastating hands.
Phillips might want to sue his coaches for malpractice. First, Alon Schwartz took a chunk from him, and then Ivan Demidov took an even bigger chunk.
Of course, Dennis Phillips, known for his lucky Cardinals hat. At this final table, he has another good luck charm that he now needs more than ever.
A friend of mine called me in and he said, got a coin I'd like you to put in your pocket while you're out there if you would. He had a neighbor growing up that was almost like a second father, I guess. He came up to him after he got drafted and was getting ready to go to Vietnam. And he handed him a coin and he said, put this in your pocket. I carried this all through World War II. Every time I'd get in a scrape, every time I'd have a problem, I'd just reach my hand in there and rub it. He took it to Vietnam. He had it there for the whole tour of duty, and he's rubbed the heck out of this coin. You can't hardly read the coin anymore. It hadn't seen the light of day for a long time. He pulled it out to give it to me. This is something that meant an awful lot to him, and he shared it with me. I mean, my gosh, this coin's been all over the world. It helped to get one guy through World War II. It helped get another guy through the Vietnam War. And he asked if I would carry it with me. And you're darn right I'll carry it with me.
Dennis's friend was moved to share the coin after Dennis visited wounded soldiers at Walter Reed Hospital in October.
Still 9 players left, $32 million in prize money still up for grabs at this championship table. Chip leader Ivan Demidov looks down at ace-king of diamonds.
Demidov almost didn't play in the main event. He was on a downswing, just one cash this World Series. Now he's on quite an upswing.
A raise to 775.
775.
Eastgate folds. Dennis Phillips running tough right now, gets out of the way. Action folds around to Elon Schwartz with King 10 of clubs.
He also was having a bad World Series. He only cashed one time in 15 events.
Schwartz in the big blind says he prepared for this final table with tons of yoga and a little extra therapy. He makes the call.
I know about the therapy.
Now the flop heads up. Deuce, king, 10. Schwartz with kings up. Davidoff hit top pair.
And Davidoff with top pair, top kicker. A dangerous flop for him. He's behind.
Yolande, first to act. With kings up, that's just a little more than $1 million.
In my neighborhood, we always say, don't mess with Russians, don't mess with New Yorkers. It's a tough matchup.
Davidoff now. With the top pair, top kicker makes the call. But he's second best. Turn card now. Tray of diamonds. Davidoff now with a nut flush draw.
Schwartz used to hustle chess outdoors. So if there are any adverse weather conditions here at the Rio, he becomes a real big favorite.
Schwartz continues his aggression. Bets almost 2.5 million chips with kings up.
Davidoff might want to push here with his pair of kings and a diamond draw.
Just with the call, though.
He's often pretty aggressive in that spot. I'm surprised.
It'll be heads up. Davidoff needing to catch up on the river. River card 6 of hearts. Schwartz earns the check mark with kings up. He's first to act. Schwartz checks.
Well, he might be scared of the third heart coming out there. It's possible Davidoff made a flush.
Davidoff with top pair, top kicker will bet 3.7 million.
I think it's a value bet here by Davidoff. He's got to believe he has the best hand.
3.7 million.
Yeah, call.
And with little hesitation, Schwartz will make the call and win that pot with kings up. Almost 17 million chips to Elon Schwartz.
Elon Schwartz showing his chops here early at this main event final table.
Schwartz is the one running hot. He started in 5th place. He's now the chip leader.
Go Elon.
That's crazy.
Wish I had some ladies cheering for me.
I hear you, Scott. Usually the girls jeer me.
Elon's got the ladies and he's got the chips, as we see on the E-Trade Financial chip count. Schwartz with 40 million, almost 30% of the chips in play.
In 2006, Jamie Gold started the final table with 29% of the chips and went wire to wire. In 2004, Greg Raymer started with 32%, and he swept the table away.
So we have a new leader, but the same short stack, Kelly Kim, under 1 million chips.
What do you got left? 500, Kelly?
Kelly Kim's like the smallest lobster in the lobster tank, and he hopes nobody notices him.
Not against me.
Montgomery folds. Suharto gets out of the way. Over to Chino Ream, the pick of a lot of top pros. Chino folds. Ivan Davidoff looks down at King 10, offsuit.
In the small blind.
And he will raise. And that's enough to put Kelly Kim all in.
Kelly Kim in the big blind.
Kim is going to go all in blind. He's at risk.
Oh, King!
And he's got pocket kings. His girlfriend Jocelyn Tinio loves that.
Kelly Kim has been the short stack for 117 days. That's a long time to walk around as the weakling.
Kelly acknowledging his fans up in the rafters of his packed theater.
How sick is that? I pick up 2 kings.
He said beforehand he was hoping to get all in just a 60-40 situation. This is a lot better than that.
Yeah. Well, the only one here that nobody has picked to win is Kelly Kim. He began the day with just 2% of the chips.
So Kim at risk, but he's way ahead against Davidoff's King 10. Now the flop, Kelly Kim still ahead.
And Kelly in great shape now. Davidoff would need run or something to knock him out.
Kelly, I had 10-7 off.
I'm worried about the 8 and the 9, man.
I'm telling you, though, I mean...
8 and a 9 would give Davidoff a straight.
All right, turn card now. It's a 9, and Davidoff does pick up the straight draw.
Come on, you know you got a sweat. You know you always got a sweat. There's always a sweat. There's always a sweat.
And now an 8 and an 8 only would send Kelly Kim home.
The river card is in. Kelly Kim stays alive and doubles up. Over 1,000 people here watching this final table, many of them Kelly Kim fans.
And the small lobster is still safe in the corner of that tank.
Ivan Demidov couldn't put Kelly Kim away, and so the man everyone thought would be the first one to go out is still alive. And we are still nine-handed at the 2008 World Series of Poker final table. Back at the Rio in the World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light, Kelly Kim has a lot of the crowd, but not a lot of chips.
All right. 2 kings, wow.
Can you believe there's an upper deck for a poker game? Who would ever have thunk it?
After that double up, Kelly Kim still the short stack with 1.5 million chips, and what a thrill for one of our November 9. Their first bracelet will be that World Championship bracelet. Back to action now. Folded over to Chino Ream. He looks down at Ace-King offsuit.
Chino, notoriously impatient, says, I'm going to wait for good cards.
And he's going to raise. He's got good cards.
Yes, sirree.
800,000 to go. Demidov folds to the short stack, Kelly Kim. Ace-King.
They have the same hand, but Kim's got the prettiest king in the deck.
And he is all in with that Ace-King. Action over to Dennis Phillips now.
You can hear the stir from the cheap seats.
He folds.
I call.
Chino calls, and they'll have fun with this.
Oh, all right. You want to chop it right now?
Let's just chop it right now. No one
Happy chopping it right now.
No one needs to get hurt. No one needs to get hurt.
Happy chopping it right now.
Kelly could get hurt. He's at risk once again, but it is Ace-King versus Ace-King.
Hearts and clubs. Come on, Korean.
I'll bet money a Korean wins this hand.
Both players are Korean Americans who live in Southern California.
This will be a chopped pot unless one of the players makes a flush.
All right, now the flop. It is all hearts.
Oh, no.
Chino Ream has the ace of hearts.
Bad news for Kelly Kim. Kim was knocked out of the World Series Europe main event in this exact Ace-King scenario when John Ju won to river to flush.
Sweat it out. Just sweat it out because it's not out of my hands.
Turn card now, Queen of Clubs.
You gotta fade one more, kid. That's all you gotta do.
One more for Kelly Kim to sweat.
Fade one more.
Black.
Call him for a black card, of course.
Run it twice. Black.
Kelly Kim at risk.
Anything but a heart, and Kelly Kim survives.
It's red, but it's a diamond, so Kelly Kim stays alive. A chop pot with Chino Ream.
You see a red queen on the river, how you feel, kid? You see a red queen.
The other players expected Kelly to go out first, but he's sticking around.
Man, why is it so much torture, guys?
Kelly Kim is still safe in his corner of the lobster tank.
Well, Chino Ream might not have the biggest number of fans in the crowd, but he does have a loyal group of pros cheering him on. As you see right there, Chino takes very seriously the responsibility of bringing this title home to the pro community.
If I win this tournament, I'm not winning for me. I'm doing it for us, for the people who play poker that have been in this game. For the past couple of years, the winners that you've had winning the main event were amateurs or you never heard of them. And to hear people, you know, especially established players, say he's sort of carrying the weight on his shoulders, I'm definitely going to go out there and do my best and try to play as solid as any other great poker player at that final table would play. Don't say I didn't gamble, boys. I've got the who's who of poker to get advice from. Mike Madison, Barry Greenstein, JC Chan. You can't beat that. That type of information is invaluable. I got it for free, so I'm lucky. I was insta-reshoving both of you guys. How's that? A lot of people are rooting for me, hoping that I do well. Not only do I not want to let them down, but I don't want to let myself down.
Chino's come close to winning a bracelet, making 2 final tables. He's trying to become the first established pro to win the main event since Carlos Mortensen in 2001.
It's an all-star evening here.
It's exciting, man.
Past main event champions everywhere you look. You saw Johnny Chan. There's Chris Ferguson, 2-time winner Doyle Brunson. And, of course, the youngest main event champ ever, Phil Hellmuth.
And his record could be busted tonight. Craig Marquis is 23 years old. He's trying to beat Hellmuth's record, as is Peter Eastgate, the youngest player at this table, 22 years old.
So the drama continues, still 9-handed at this championship table. Action on David Chino Ream. He looks down at Pocket Jacks.
800.
He's going to raise it to 800,000.
8 announced.
Demidov folds. Eastgate lays it down. Over to the man who started as chip leader, Dennis Phillips, with pocket queens.
I'm all in.
And moves all in and takes that lucky coin to protect his cards.
Well, he hopes pocket queens can right the ship.
Action back now to Chino Ream. Dennis said he's very cognizant of Philip Hilm, who was last year's chip leader coming to the final table and went out first, and Dennis could be staring at the same fate.
Well, it's one of three things, buddy. Either we're flipping, I got you dominated, or you got me dominated.
Yep. Chino said he'd play mistake-free poker. Tough to lay this down.
I really hope it's tens and not queens. I call.
He calls, and he'll hate to see the queens.
A good read, but he couldn't dump that hand. And Dennis Phillips will be at risk.
Phillips will try to dodge bad luck and double up in this championship table. His girlfriend and none of his fans imagine that Dennis could be the first one knocked off this table.
Dennis Phillips might have been the most adversely affected by the long layoff to this final table. He had all the momentum back in July, now trying to regain that momentum just in time.
Chino's pro supporters include Greg Mueller on the left, J.C. Tran on the right.
That's the one I really felt that you had. You looked at it so quick, you're like queens.
Frankly, I'd have probably done the same with tens.
Indeed, Dennis was getting so short-stacked, he probably would have pushed with any big pocket pair.
All right, so Dennis Phillips at risk, but ahead right now. The flop. Oh, and he loves to see that. The tray 5 king keeps Phillips ahead.
Dennis Phillips was the chip leader going into this final table. If he gets unlucky here, he will be the first one eliminated.
And now the turn card. 9 of diamonds, no help to Chino.
And now only a river jack would knock Dennis Phillips out.
Phillips can't bear to watch. He's going to let his supporters tell him what happens on the river. The roar says it all. A heartless 6 allows Phillips to double up. And he's sworn by his supporters. Chino Ream takes the hit down below $7 million.
Penn and Teller Theater might be renamed Dennis Phillips Stadium.
They love the fact that Team Dennis is trucking along once again. And it begins. With empty briefcases in hand, security heads into the vault to unlock the money that will be the key to someone's future.
What would I do with
$9 million.
Wow, that's a lot of cash. Throw a huge party for all my friends. Probably get a freshed out Mini Cooper. Spoil my girlfriend.
$9 million, baby.
Do something good for humanity. It'd change anybody's life.
One guy who could really use that money, Dennis Phillips, who paid for these hundreds of friends to come to the Rio.
Is there an interstate inside the Rio?
They are a noisy bunch, aren't they?
That's one of your people with that horn?
It's a truck horn.
Oh, okay.
They got a damn battery and everything in it so they can blow it. It's unreal. Yeah.
All right, you see on the E-Trade Financial final table ticker, only 3 colors of chips remain. The green, 25,000, the lavender, 100,000, and the beige, 250,000.
If I ever get a 250,000 chip, I will never, ever, ever, ever give it up.
All right, action continues at this championship table. Ace 10 offsuit for Ivan Demidov.
There's a poker revolution going on in Russia. Alex Kravchenko made the final table to main event last year, and now Demidov.
Demidov raises it up to just over 1 million chips. Craig Marquis folds over 2. Elon Schwartz, King-Queen offsuit in the big blind.
Schwartz says, I really want to get my hands on that $9 million. Says he'll just cut loose and retire before he's 40.
Schwartz, the chip leader right now, will make the call for 650,000 more.
Forgot it's your blind. Just remind me next time.
Schwartz did shoot a dirty look to Demidov after he raised his blind. These two are heads up. Flop 5-7, Jack, all hearts, both with flush draws. Ivan with a nut flush draw. Schwartz.
Same business.
First to act.
Check out.
With the king of hearts. He checks it. Demidov with the ace of hearts checks.
Neither player wants to make a semi-bluff there.
All right, turn card now. Is another heart, so a flush for both. Demidov with the check mark with that nut flush.
Big trouble for Elon Schwartz. The chip lead could change after this hand.
Schwartz with that king high flush that's no good, bets just over 1 million chips. Demidov now with the check mark. Will raise it to 2.675 million.
Well, he pounces with the nuts. I thought Demidov might have smooth called there.
Schwartz will need 1.6 million to call. How could he not?
He can't go anywhere. King high flush, second nut flush.
He does call. River card now, 5 of spades. Demidov already with a check mark. Schwartz now checks.
Maybe looking for a check raise. It would be a disastrous check raise.
Doors wide open for Demidov to get maximum value out of this hand. He slides forward over 4 million chips.
And a tough spot for Elon Schwartz. He can't put Demidov on a full house. And if he puts him on a flush, only the ace would beat him. I would have called an hour ago and made dinner reservations.
Schwartz giving this a lot of thought.
Does he want to come over the top?
No, he folds.
A fold.
My goodness, and Demidov will take that big pot with a nut flush. Somehow Schwartz got away from it.
A court order couldn't have gotten me away from that.
Ivan?
Schwartz trying to get some indication from Demidov if he made the right fold.
This is a very good or very bad thing. Yeah, but he knows that.
Schwartz used to play chess outdoors very, very well. Now he plays poker indoors very, very well.
So a big laydown for Elon Schwartz, but the correct one. He took a hit there, but he's still the chip leader, as you see on the E-Trade Financial chip count. Ivan Demidov inches closer to the top spot. The 3 short stacks, Reem, Marquis, and Kelly Kim. Kelly Kim with 725,000 chips, looking for some help right away. Gets no help from those cards. The blinds at 200 and 400,000. Action folds around to Craig Marquis, the second short stack. He looks down at pocket 7s. Craig says now's the time, all in. Craig's mom Karen sitting between his sister and girlfriend. They watch anxiously. Elon Schwartz, the chip leader, folds tray 4. Scott Montgomery with ace queen.
I don't think you can win at this level in a striped shirt. If Scott Montgomery proves me wrong, I'm happy for him.
Good call.
He calls.
Oh.
Kelly Kim reacting to his shot at moving up the money ladder as Craig Marquis is at risk. Marquis with pocket 7s against ace queen.
Marquis has sat tight at this final table until he picked up a hand, and now he's in a coin flip for his tournament life.
There is Scott's dad, Craig, who came down from Canada.
Oh, I even got you double suited. You're totally crushed. No flush for you.
Oh yeah, I can't hit my 4 flush again. It would be only appropriate though. Ace Queen gave me the tournament. For it to take it away would be ironic.
He's talking about that big hand against Dean Hamrick.
All right, Marquis at risk. Here's the flop. 7, ace 10. Montgomery pairs his ace, but a set for Marquis as he tries to stay alive.
Huge flop for Craig Marquis. Montgomery would need runner now to knock him out.
Scott's dad sees his son fall further behind in the hand.
Any kind 10 or above. Any kind 10 or above.
Not a lot of outs.
Not a lot of outs. Running 10s, running aces, or running straight cards.
Running aces.
Turn card now. Oh, and there's one of the running straight cards, but Marquis still leads.
Never easy, that's all I gotta say.
At least I get a 6 sweat, right?
Marquis trying to avoid being the first person knocked out.
This actually looks familiar, right?
It was runner for Marquis against Hamrick that kept him alive.
Which 4 outs, how could I possibly miss?
Yeah, right?
Only a king would knock Craig Marquis out.
River is a king! Oh, my! The Montgomery clan celebrates Marquis, the first of the November 9 to go.
Marquis will not be the youngest ever to win the main event. That is Peter Eastgate's task alone now. 4 outs or a lot of outs for Scott Montgomery.
Kelly Kim guaranteed almost $400,000 more for just hanging around.
I'm a sick human being.
And Craig Marquis takes a horrific beat with class and grace.
Can we take a 5-minute break? I need to go change my pants now.
So Scott Montgomery scores the first knockout of this championship table. And they are no longer the November 9, 23-year-old Craig Marquis being saluted for his amazing run. He's out. The main event is down to 8. Welcome back to the World Series of Poker presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. And that is it. Kelly Kim, who joined this final table as the shortest of short stacks, has been knocked out in 8th place by Daros Suharto. Kelly managed to stay alive long enough to outlast Craig Marquis. His girlfriend Jocelyn certainly will be happy with the extra $360,000 he'll earn for 8th place.
The 31-year-old poker pro makes his second main event cash, the payday of a lifetime. He's a main event millionaire.
Kelly certainly gave his many fans a thrill here tonight. He's watched the main event on TV for years, always dreamed he could be at the final table. How satisfying this accomplishment must be for Kelly Kim. And so we are down to 7 players on our E-Trade financial chip count. Ilan Schwartz has a slight edge over Ivan Demidov at the top. Chino Reem, a lot of work to do. The short stack right now, just $3 million in chips.
Mike Matiso preached patience today for Chino Reem, but Chino now running out of time to be patient with that short stack.
Action continues. It's on Daros Suharto from Toronto and on the Milwaukee's Best Light Pocket Cam. Ace-Queen offsuit.
A lot of comparisons between Daros and Chris Moneymaker. Both are accountants. Both worked for Deloitte & Touche. Moneymaker won a $40 online satellite into the main event. Suharto won an $80 online satellite into the main event.
Suharto raises to $1.1 million. Action on Demidov with Pocket Kings.
Keep giving the Russian cards. The Russians going to cause trouble for the Americans and the Canadians.
Demidov.
Like 14 total.
Asking for a count on Suharto's chip stack.
It's okay.
Demidov says, never mind. I'll take it down with or without a count.
Ivan in the small blind. Demidov will re-raise to $3.3 million. Now Suharto will need $2.2 million to call. He told us he considered himself very patient and trusts his reads, and he will make that call.
He's got that ace-queen. As you know, Doyle Brunson says it's trouble.
Heads up to the flop, and there's a king, a set for Demidov, and that flop totally missed Suharto. Demidov will bet it. Just over $3.1 million.
Ivan will not slow play his top set. Suharto proving that Texas Dolly is right about ace-queen.
But Daros has not folded yet. Does he believe, Ivan?
Raise.
He announces raise.
$5 million on top.
$5 million on top.
So that's like almost all in.
Well, not almost all in, but Daros maybe with $4.5 million left.
I'm all in.
Demidov will push.
Boy, and Daros isn't even done putting the chips in on his raise.
Suharto's friends and family know what a big moment this is.
Suharto's raise might have been a good bet if Demidov had, say, pocket queens or jacks, but he had a set. So Suharto now in an awkward spot. He made a play. He was caught. And when he folds here, he's going to have maybe 10 or 12 big blinds left.
Ivan's work is done. He waits on the sideline. Suharto has to fold, and he does wave the white flag after giving up over 11 million chips.
This is starting to have a Rocky IV feel to it.
Suharto gave up most of his stack on a move that did not work, and the Russian contingent loves their favorite son who's recaptured the chip lead.
Well, Daros waved the white flag. Our Russian comrades waved the hammer and sickle.
Demidov once again the man to beat. Step 2. Let the loading begin. $9 million being sorted, stacked, and prepped for transfer to the Penn and Teller Theater.
Is he bluffing? Could be. German shepherds, huh? I don't trust Germans. 2 cards. Could mean anything. Let's raise the stakes, frighten them off.
No one to play with?
Darn.
So play online at partypoker.com. It's fun, it's easy, it's the world's largest poker room.
All right, okay.
The 2008 World Series of Poker, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light. Main event. Final table.
Back inside the Rio and the Penn and Teller Theater, which echoes with chants for Dennis Phillips.
You know what? They don't even do that in other sports, man. So that's pretty hot.
Indeed, poker is a sport like no other. Let's now take a look back at some of the more unique moments from the 2008 World Series with Norman Chad and this final installment of The Nuts.
The end of the main event. A chance for poker's most prestigious prize. A chance for a flushie. 2008 was the year of firsts, as we saw many great players win their first bracelet. Sure, Lindgren's first win was nice, but I appreciated his first attempt at marital advice even more.
That's why most of Norman Chad's relationships fall apart. Maybe if he had a little more trust in his relationship, they would last.
Yet nothing could top my first on-air proposal.
Will you marry me?
Anyone hoping to be my number 4 deserves their first flushie. The Havad Khan rule had an effect on, well, Havad Khan. But like water through a dam, great characters found their way. Some players stand out with all the noise they make.
We punch it well.
While others stand out with their sense of style. Some I don't like.
Say hello to Peter.
And some I just can't get out of my head. Not that, Antonius.
Patrick, we hate to see you leave, but I really enjoy watching you walk away.
Patrick, you had me at hello, and now you get a flushie for goodbye. This was a year that saw some of the baddest of bad beats. Including a runner that sent the survivor packing. But perhaps the worst beat of all,
Queen 8 off.
goes to anyone,
Idiot player.
and I mean anyone,
Idiot player.
who sat anywhere in the vicinity of Phil Hellmuth.
Idiot players call races with Queen 10. They don't even know how to spell poker.
So to you, the masses,
No, he didn't.
yearning to break free of his rants,
Called the race with Queen 10. Another Queen 10!
I offer some solace.
You are an idiot.
A collective flushie for putting up with the poker brat.
Idiot from Northern Europe.
And there is the poker brat who has been relatively quiet today as a final table spectator. And hey, look, it's an idiot from Northern Europe who just may break Phil Hellmuth's record as the youngest main event winner ever. Ha!
All right, back to action here. More unique moments to come, I am sure. Chino Reem, the short stack, looks down at Ace King.
I'm all in.
And pushes all in. He's got just under 3 million chips.
Chino says he was broke, busted before this main event. He has resurrected himself by making the final table.
Chip leader Ivan Demidov with pocket nines.
I call.
And he will indeed call and put Chino Reem at risk.
And you may recall it was Demidov all in with pocket nines against Chino's pocket tens late in the main event. And Demidov had to hit a flush on the turn to stay alive.
A number of poker pros came together tonight to support Chino. Is Ace King racing against the pocket nines, Chino's tournament life at stake. Ivan Demidov trying to knock off a player from this championship table and extend his chip lead.
That hat would have helped my second honeymoon.
We've seen Chino catch cards to come from behind all through the main event. He needs to do that here to stay alive. The flop now, 7-8-5. Boy, that does not help Chino.
Demidov with pocket nines and now a straight draw. Chino still looking for an ace or a king.
Chino Reem at risk. Turn card now is a king! And Chino takes the lead.
Chino Reem has had close to 9 lives at this main event.
Demidov not done, though.
The Demidov's going to need a 9 or a 6 for a straight to knock out Chino Reem.
And now the river card is a jack. Chino Reem will double up.
The pros rejoice, and we have finally put a small dent into that Soviet juggernaut.
And the Demidov contingent is deflated. Ivan ships some of his stack to Chino Reem, who needed him in the worst way. He's still got a long uphill climb.
Chino says if I win, it was just meant to be. There's still got a flicker of hope.
Never easy. Man, the flow was so good for me.
So Chino's main event luck holds out once again. He doubles through Ivan Demidov. We look at our E-Trade financial chip count now and see that despite that blow, Demidov is still the chip leader. He has 30% of the chips in play. Elon Schwartz in second place. Doris Suharto now the short stack. So Chino Ream hoping he's got some momentum. Jack 10 offsuit. He's going to try to make something happen. A raise to $1 million.
That $1 million represents 15% of Chino's remaining chip stack.
Action to the chip leader. Demidov gives it up. Peter Eastgate from Denmark gives it up now. Dennis Phillips with ace queen in the small blind. Makes a call.
Dennis says that even if he wins the main event, he will be back at Broadway Truck Centers. Maybe he'll buy the company.
Elon Schwartz in the big blind has pocket queens.
Elon says if he wins the main event, he's going to go someplace far, far away where no one can find him.
He re-raises to $4.4 million.
Bless you.
That is one polite short stack.
Well, there's a man who sees everything that's going on.
Chino, the original raiser.
He doesn't want to give up these million chips.
Need some help from Sheets and Backs right here.
But he gives it up.
Painful muck pre-flop for Chino.
The raise now back to Dennis Phillips with ace queen. He started this day as the chip leader.
I'm all in.
And Dennis Phillips will push with the rest of his stack.
Doyle Brunson knows of what he speaks. Ace queen looks like it's headed for elimination.
That's right.
Elon Schwartz will call to put Phillips at risk. Dennis will need to have that lucky coin do its job again.
What a free fall for Phillips. The chip leader coming into the final table staring at 7th place.
I wanted you to have jacks. I wanted at least a raise.
Elon Schwartz, though, with queens and a chance to knock off Dennis Phillips with his ace queen.
And if he eliminates Phillips, Schwartz will regain the chip lead.
So here we go. Dennis Phillips on his feet. And the flop, and there's it is! Phillips takes the hand away from Schwartz for the moment.
I guess Tony La Russa made a pitching change, and Dennis Phillips is back on track.
Told you, you're going to love this game.
Ace Queen plays in St. Louis. Turn card now. 6, no help to Schwartz.
One outer. Don't you do it. Don't you dare.
Phillips says, don't show me the last queen in the deck. That is the only card Schwartz can hit to send Phillips home.
The river card is a try.
Dennis Phillips doesn't live here, but this is like a home game for him.
Dennis Phillips doubles up and is a factor once again. That coin's called a fat dollar, and his chip stack just got a lot fatter.
Sorry, man.
All right. Nice hand.
Elon Schwartz got unlucky and had to give up almost 30% of his stack.
Nice hand, sir.
No, it wasn't. But I'll damn well take it.
He sure will. And the sea of Broadway Truck Center shirts and Cardinal caps come alive again. Dennis Phillips is back in the game.